Reacher's Robert Patrick reveals which actor terrified him more than Schwarzenegger or Ritchson. Robert Patrick should be taking things a little easier as a 65-year-old, but he hasn't given up his tough guy ways just yet. Although he is often seen playing bad guys with a penchant for violence, as he does once again in Season 2 of Prime Video's Reacher, there is one person he played opposite that terrified him more than any of the Man Mountain stars he has been pitted against. In an interview with Screen Rant, Patrick opened up about his tough guy persona, which has seen him take on the likes of Arnold Schwarzenegger, John Cena, and most recently Alan Ritchson in Reacher. But it was his casting in HBO's The Sopranos that brought him into contact with the actor who is much more intimidating than any of those action heroes. He said, "As much as I get cast playing bad guys, I do enjoy playing a good guy." But David Chase, when he did The Sopranos, he was thinking about that role. We had met for a film a couple of years prior to him creating The Sopranos, and for some reason, he thought of me for Davey Scatino. He called me and said, "This isn't a part you'd normally get cast in, but for some reason, I think this would be a good thing for you to do. It's against type. You're going to get your beat by James Gandolfini. I'm going to be honest with you. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Alan Ritchson, John Cena. The guy who terrified me the most was Jimmy Gandolfini. God rest Jimmy, he's effing intense. I thought he was going to bite my head off. We did that scene in one take, and it was against type. There's something similar here with the way it went with Ritchson. The first time I ever groveled in my career was to James Gandolfini. And the second time I ever groveled in my career was to Alan Ritchson because I'm pleading like a little BH. You know what I mean? I'm like, no, please. Wah. And it's fun. Although no one would want to throw shade at the mighty Arnold Schwarzenegger, in a recent interview Patrick was asked to compare the Terminator star to his Reacher co-star Alan Ritchson. Having taken a beating from both of them, Patrick is certainly in as good a place as any to give an opinion on the two giants of the action genre, and he had an answer, even if he hopes Arnie doesn't hear about it. He said, "Alan's bigger." Don't tell Arnold I said that. Oh, but right now, Alan in his present state and age, he's bigger. Alan encompasses a lot of similarities in the size of his massiveness of muscle gain. And he moves very well. And Arnold moves very well. They're both athletic guys. Robert Patrick can be seen in the latest season of Reacher on Prime Video, Terminator 2, Judgment Day on Paramount Plus, and The Sopranos on Max. When it comes to tough, no-nonsense actors, Robert Patrick has shared the screen with some of the most intimidating figures in Hollywood. From his iconic role as the relentless T-1000 in Terminator 2, Judgment Day, 1991, where he faced off against Arnold Schwarzenegger, to his more recent appearance in Reacher alongside Alan Ritchson, Patrick has been no stranger to playing roles opposite physically imposing stars. Yet, despite working with these towering figures, Patrick recently revealed that neither Schwarzenegger nor Ritchson were the most terrifying actors he's encountered. Instead, it was another screen legend who left a lasting impression of fear and respect on him. In an interview reflecting on his long and illustrious career, Patrick was asked about his time working with Schwarzenegger and Ritchson, both action stars known for their size, strength, and physical presence. Patrick, who's been in the industry for decades, didn't mince words when talking about their intimidating personas, but he was quick to point out that he was never truly terrified of either. In fact, he found both to be consummate professionals and enjoyable to work with. Schwarzenegger, known for his muscular physique and larger-than-life presence both on and off the screen, was a legend in his own right when Patrick took on the role of the T-1000. Despite the fearsome nature of their on-screen battle, Patrick recalls how Schwarzenegger's demeanor off-camera was surprisingly friendly and supportive. "Arnold was great to work with," Patrick said. "You know, he was a huge star at the time, but he was always so kind, always helpful. We had these massive fight scenes, and he was just a total professional, always making sure everyone was safe." Intimidating? Sure. But terrifying? No, not really. Patrick also shared his experience working with Alan Ritchson, the star of the Amazon Prime series Reacher, based on Lee Child's popular novels. Ritchson, with his towering 6'2" frame and chiseled physique, embodied the role of Jack Reacher, a former military policeman turned drifter with a penchant for solving problems with his fists. Patrick, who played Kleiner SR, one of the antagonists in the series, found Ritchson's portrayal of Reacher to be both commanding and authentic. Alan's presence was definitely intimidating, Patrick said with a smile. He's a big guy, and he really gets into the character. You can feel the energy when he's in the room. But he's also such a warm guy in real life. There's this dichotomy with him on screen. He's this brutal force, but off screen, he's approachable and friendly. So again, intimidating? Yes, but not terrifying. So, who is this mysterious actor that terrified Robert Patrick more than the likes of Schwarzenegger or Ritchson? The answer, according to Patrick, lies in his early career when he had the chance to work with the legendary Clint Eastwood. Eastwood, known for his steely-eyed portrayals of tough men in films like Dirty Harry and the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, left a lasting impression on Patrick, not just because of his iconic status, but because of his no-nonsense attitude and presence on set. I had the opportunity to work with Clint Eastwood early in my career, Patrick recalled. And I'll tell you, that man is terrifying in the best possible way. He doesn't need to say much. His presence alone commands respect. There's something about Clint. He's a man of few words, but when he speaks, you listen. He's got this aura about him that's just intense. It's hard to describe unless you've been around him. He doesn't have to be physically imposing like Arnold or Alan, but his energy is what gets you. Patrick went on to explain that Eastwood's reputation for being a director who values efficiency and precision added to the tension he felt while working with him. Clint is known for doing very few takes. He knows exactly what he wants, and he expects you to deliver. There's no messing around, no second chances. You've got to be ready, and that's what makes it so intense. You're constantly on your toes because you don't want to disappoint him. The fear Patrick felt, however, wasn't a bad kind of fear. It was more about the pressure to meet Eastwood's expectations and the respect he had for the legendary actor-director. It's a different kind of terrifying, Patrick said. With Arnold and Alan, it's more about the physical presence, the sheer size and strength of these guys. But with Clint, it's mental. It's psychological. You want to impress him. You want to live up to his standards. And that's what makes him so terrifying. He's not going to yell at you or get in your face, but you can feel it if you're not hitting the mark. In a career spanning decades, Robert Patrick has worked with some of the most imposing figures in Hollywood, from action icons like Schwarzenegger and Ritchson to acting legends like Eastwood. While he has faced down relentless machines and formidable human foes on screen, it's clear that the actor who left the biggest impression of fear on him was Clint Eastwood, a man whose quiet intensity and high expectations created an entirely different kind of intimidation. For Patrick, it's not the size of the man that creates fear, but the weight of his presence, and in that regard, no one measures up to Eastwood. As he put it, there's only one Clint Eastwood, and I think that says it all. Presence, the sheer size and strength of these guys. But with Clint, it's mental. It's psychological. You want to impress him. You want to live up to his standards. And that's what makes him so terrifying. He's not going to yell at you or get in your face, but you can feel it if you're not hitting the mark. In a career spanning decades, Robert Patrick has worked with some of the most imposing figures in Hollywood, from action icons like Schwarzenegger and Ritchson to acting legends like Eastwood. While he has faced down relentless machines and formidable human foes on screen, it's clear that the actor who left the biggest impression of fear on him was Clint Eastwood, a man whose quiet intensity and high expectations created an entirely